to hear from you this morning. I'm just checking, have we got our guests? Yes, absolutely. Right, let's move on to another game, a massive game actually, when it comes to the top half or top end of the Premier League table, because we've got a London derby at the Emirates as Chelsea travel north to take on Arsenal. Arsenal unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League games versus Chelsea. That's their longest run without a league defeat against them since a run of 19 matches between 95 and 2005. Arsenal haven't won in their last 3. Chelsea have won their last 2, and there is a battle on, of course, for those Champions League places. Joining us joining us, let me say good morning to Arsenal fan and sports broadcaster Sophie Nicolau, who joins us. How are you, Sophie?
My favourite duo. How are you guys doing?
It's been a long time, Sophie.
Yes.
We've had you on for ages.
I know, it's been a very long time. Too long, but here we are ahead of another London derby at the Emirates, which, by the way, we haven't lost back-to-back London derbies ever.
That's
the Emirates.
true.
Yeah.
That is true. Lost to West Ham last time, but yeah, you're absolutely right about that. How are you feeling about it then?
Appreciate the reminder on that one, Natalie.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for that.
No, but I'm just giving clarification to our listeners.
Yeah,
Sophie.
sure.
But how are you feeling about this game then?
It's really weird. I think it's been such a strange Premier League season. It's funny, I was talking to Jason Cundy about this on our show, and I just don't think it's been a great Premier League season. I think Liverpool deserve all their flowers, and clearly they're above and beyond anybody else in the league. Yes, we've had injuries. A few decisions haven't gone our way, but we can't make excuses. I'm excited for another London derby. I think this is an opportunity to kind of move away from Nottingham Forest again. But overall, I can't sit here and tell you I've enjoyed this Premier League season. It's been a bit disappointing, some in our hands and some of it out of our hands, unfortunately.
Sophie, has that been sort of, the backdrop to that is that the Champions League has really been exciting for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, and, as Arsenal fans, we've been desperate to kind of be relevant again in the Champions League. And for so many nights, we've sat there watching our tellies and saying, gosh, I just wish we could be in a big game like this. And I think that it is a testament to kind of the progression under Mikel Arteta to get us back into playing competitive football, challenging for the title in the Premier League. Unfortunately, we lost to Bayern Munich last season. I felt like that was a good enough team where we should have beaten them. Terrible mistake at the Emirates. But to be in a position where we're going to play the kings of Europe, Real Madrid, what a challenge under a cloud of adversity. Our Strikeforce kind of decimated. But to be here and be in that position as an Arsenal fan, you've got to be excited. You've got to put the disappointment, I think, of the Premier League in a draw somewhere and just be really excited for the position that we're in the Champions League.
Are you worried at all about your top 4 position, or have you got enough points on the board that you should be safe?
I think you're always concerned. There's 9 games left. We don't have a striker. We're playing Mikel Merino up front. Gabriel Martinelli finally coming back from injury, not match fit yet. We're still without our best player, Bukayo Saka. And it has been a huge challenge. But I still think we have a really good spine. And that defence, which I believe is going to be the key to the Real Madrid tie in the Champions League as well, is, one of the best, not only in the Premier League, but also in Europe. And the fact that we've got, I think, one of the best centre-back pairings in Europe as well. I think that we're going to have to lean on the defence. David Raya has been one of our players of the season. If you've got Saliba and Gabriel and Timber, and you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly and Benjamin White coming back too, I think that defence kind of carries us for the remainder of the season, and somehow we keep nicking goals in the Premier League.
What have you made of Chelsea, Sophie? Because they've had 4 wins on the spin. OK, couple against Copenhagen, narrow wins. It feels like he's spinning plates, the coach, Maresca, at Chelsea, of trying to find his best 11. Cole Palmer was left out against Copenhagen. I'm sure he'll be back today. But there is a real side in there somewhere. They just... I haven't seen a 90-minute Chelsea team where they literally from start to finish have dominated the game. I've seen them do it for large periods, but not often enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if Cole Palmer started on the bench today. I'd be pretty happy with that. Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a weird one for them too, hasn't it? They have an abundance of players to choose from. Chelsea not doing well is always good for an Arsenal fan. I was impressed with Maresca at the start of the season. Thought he was refreshing and, kind of came into a situation that, he inherited a little bit of a mess. But at the same time, I don't think Chelsea can complain with the amount of players that they have, the amount of money that they've spent. Should they be better at this point? Probably. Playing Chelsea, I think, suits us. We've really struggled, Tony and Natalie, against... Mikel hasn't cracked the low block code this season. We've really, I think that's kind of... If there's one criticism I have of Mikel, it's not being able to get results out of those teams. 10 draws so far this season in the Premier League, and that's really been our Achilles heel. But yeah, I think this game will suit us against Chelsea. They've got a lot of talented players, and some players like Neto, who got that goal against us in the first game at Stamford Bridge. We didn't close him down quick enough, but he's a very talented player, and they have talented players that could hurt us on the day. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. 1:30 kickoff at the Emirates. We look forward to it. As always, Sophie, thank you. Sending you love.
It's been great. Take care, guys. Lots of love. Yeah.
Sophie Nicolau there, the Arsenal fan and sports broadcaster, podcaster as well, giving us her thoughts on her team and their chances perhaps against Chelsea today. Game we will keep you regularly updated on, of course. Now, loads of stories, Dom.